Good morning. How is everybody this morning? Good. All right, so we'll get the elephant out of the room right off the bat. Where is Virginia? Virginia is not well, and so if you come to our seminars, you know that we talk a lot about having a plan B. Plan B. It just so happens that I'm Brielle, so it works out really well that I'm Plan B. So today I will be hosting the seminar and here with you, and fortunately for all of you, our panelists are fantastic and they have a ton of really great information to share with you, and so this is never about Virginia or me or whomever. It is about our panelists who come in and provide you with really wonderful information. So we're grateful to have them here this morning. I want to start out by thanking, first of all, the young lady that you saw when you first walked in today, Ella. Here she comes. Ella is my daughter, if you couldn't tell. And, you know, she's got 5 days left of her summer vacation, and she chose to spend this morning with all of us to help us out. So we really appreciate her being here, and so that's fun to share this time with her because she hears me talk about this all the time and how wonderful all of you are. So it's really neat that she got to meet so many of you this morning. Also wanted to thank our AV team. Ken and Anthony are here, and they are fantastic, and we love them. And if you are not able to ever make a seminar, you can go to our website, and under seminars, you go to seminar library, or you can go to education and also find our seminar library, and you will find a recording of these seminars online. So if you've missed something, you're new today, and you're like, oh, I really wanted to hear that one on technology or finances or whatever, guess what? You can go back and find a recording of it. So we really appreciate our AV team. Also want to thank our educational partners. We really can't do this work without them. They are wonderful organizations, businesses in our community that really understand the importance of education, and that's why they're here. This is not just to promote their businesses, but really because educating seniors in the community is a priority. So we have, with North Star, we have Jennifer here, and we have Will Boughton from Vera Bank. We have Stacy here from Visiting Angels. We have Margot with the Delaney. We have Josie with Care Partner to Caregivers, and we have Cora here with Provident Crossings. And Margot is new as an educational partner, and then we also have, if you were here a couple of months ago and we talked about financial guidance for seniors, we had Lori Anderson here from Thrive Mortgage. She's not here this morning, but Thrive Mortgage has also joined us as an educational partner. So we are so thankful for everybody for being here. If you are a new attendee, you were given one of these this morning. And in your binder, the first few pages are just our calendar for the year, a checklist of peace of mind, things that you might want to go through as an individual, as a family. Do you have these things in place? Kind of just a checklist of things to look at. A list of important contacts. If something were to happen to you, does your family know who to contact? And so you can fill that out and make sure that somebody knows that that's available to you. And then some resources in Georgetown. And then every month when you come, you pick up your packet of materials from the table, and that packet is specific to the topic for the month. So then you can put them all in one place, and instead of going home and setting 1 month down on your coffee table and the next month ends up in a bedroom and then packet materials are everywhere, just keep them in your binder. So that is a handy dandy tool for everybody to use. So this morning our topic is going to be trends in senior living. And I know that I grew up in a household where, like my parents in their 70s, we're not ever leaving our home. We're staying put forever and always. And in their mind, senior living looks like what their grandparents lived in, something that would be more like a skilled nursing or something like that. And I think a lot of people have that in their head that senior living looks one way. And senior living doesn't look that way anymore. And senior living has really opened up into this amazing world, and you all live in a fantastic community with tons of senior living options. And so today we're going to talk about what those senior living trends have been over the years, what demographics have changed over the years, resources. So we're really excited to share that with you. The first thing I wanted to show you was in your packet, before we bring our panelists up, there is this senior living options at a glance. And I think we can pull that. We've got just one slide today, but that's what it is. And we'll just go through these really quickly. So we'll have active adult 55 apartments, and those are going to be apartments that are going to be, or homes, could be condos, whatever. No meal plans or transportation, things of that nature, but there's going to be an age requirement, and they're active and they plan activities, and it's a fun environment. Independent living communities, you're going to have some kind of meal plan. There's amenities and activities, transportation, light housekeeping, but it's still independent. Assisted living is if you're going to need some help with daily living activities. You'll still have some type of meal plan, 3 meals a day, transportation, and our panelists will really get into what that looks like. Memory care communities, of course, you're going to have more of a secured area for memory care. And then continuing care retirement communities, CCRCs. And what I would encourage you to do on the CCRCs is to look at this other handout, and actually for all of these, Exploring Senior Living. And there's a really great explanation about the different types of senior communities, but the CCRCs can be a little bit confusing for some, and there's a great explanation in this other handout. Life plan communities, providing a written agreement, long-term contract between the resident and the community, and that's an important part of that, and a requirement of a one-time upfront entrance fee, but then all of your needs are met throughout the time that you're living there. So there's a lot of information about CCRCs, and again, like I said, it can be a little bit confusing, but this article will be really helpful to you. So, like I said, our panelists today are really going to be the ones that give you the bulk of the information that you're looking for. So if we could bring up Patricia, hi Patricia. Patricia is also here with North Star, sorry about that. If we could bring up Jennifer and Cora and Margot. All right, well, if you guys want to each give an introduction and just tell us a little bit about yourself, your community that you're with, and your background. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Margot Hayes with the Delaney at Georgetown Village. We have independent living, assisted living, and memory care, and I am very thankful to be here. Thanks.
Hi, good morning. My name is Jennifer Krinke. I am the community director at North Star Georgetown, and we are an active 55 plus living adult community.
Good morning. My name is Cora, and I'm with Provident Crossings Resort Style Living in Round Rock, and it's a 55 and older, all-inclusive community, and I'm the senior sales representative there.
So we're so grateful to have all of you here this morning. I wanted to talk first about who came last month to talk about technology. Who was here? All right. Keep your hands up if you did something last month in terms of one of our action steps about technology. So we know that technology has taken kind of a turn, and there's some new trends in communities that deal with technology. So Jennifer, do you want to start us off on, in a 55 plus community, what trends you're seeing in terms of technology?
Absolutely. So 20 years ago, we were not utilizing many forms of technology in relation to our living lifestyle in apartment communities. So now the trend has become that we are utilizing technology services for our residents to interact with each other, interact amongst the team, and also do important things like view their online payment system. So if you guys ever view a credit card statement or utility bill online, we have that option for our residents to view their bills online. Service requests, you can place that by sending an email or logging on to the resident portal. And then also, we even utilize technology for our lifestyle programming so that the residents can reserve and RSVP to events. So again, 20 years ago, we weren't utilizing these platforms and had our binder and everybody walked up and signed in just like the doctor's office. And now when you go to the doctor's office, you know, check your appointment or get that message on your phone or online ahead of time.
Margot?
It's exciting. We just started this. The new system we have actually goes to your television in your apartment. And so if you turn on a specific channel, it will tell you all the activities of the day and of the week. And then it also tells you the menu of the day, any important information that you need to have. So we have a few televisions in the community, but also in your apartment. And then we also have a program that lets your family know what's going on in case they would like to join. So the email goes out to all family members if you would like, and lets them know about special events coming up and things going on. So it's just an easy, wonderful way to make it more helpful for
Sounds like the
everyone.
cruise ship.
Yes.
And Cora?
Yes, what we've been doing for our residents, because we have so many residents that come up to the concierge desk wanting to know, how do I use my new iPhone? How do I use my iPad? And being that we're 55 and older, it's an independent living community, we don't have all of the things like they have, but we have a class every month on the calendar. So we call it Electronic Connection. So you can attend those seminars. They're little small seminars where someone comes in and you can upload and put all kind of apps on your device and learn how to actually use it. You know, people are getting, family members or grandkids that give them this new technology and they don't know how to use it. So that's what we're doing. We bring, have someone come in on a monthly basis so they can check the calendar and see when they're coming in and learn how to use their devices.
Jennifer, during our pre-call, you had mentioned that you guys also have some training or classes available.
Yeah, at our community, we do a Tech Tuesday, and my lifestyle coordinator, Patricia, she actually helps our residents. So we just discussed having the portal, the online payment system, the ability, you know, to see what's going on in the community. And so, Cora just mentioned as well, she will sit down with our residents and help them with their computer, their cell phone. Again, we have an online reservation platform, and that can be very intimidating to those who aren't comfortable utilizing technology. So have no fear, we're here to help with that. And so she'll sit down if someone's having a problem with their phone or connecting to the internet in their home, a computer. We also have a business center, so oftentimes people don't know how to log into the computer, how to print something out, and we want to provide that ability and set aside time so it's not stressful for our residents to live there and know what's going on.
And that kind of leads into our next trend on lifelong learning. I mean, we've got these technology classes, but what other kinds of classes are going on in your communities? Margot?
We have a few different things. First, we partner with Senior University here in Georgetown, and so there are always about 15 to 17 classes to choose from, and we partner with them, and they have some of the classes at our community. We have a continuous speaker about the Ukraine war, and then it's the same. We have 3 life enrichment directors, and they're always bringing in things. Most of the residents let us know what they would like to learn, if it's gardening or their computers, anything like that. So we really try to gear those classes for what they would like. So it's quite a variety. It's fun.
Jennifer?
Well, at our community, we also promote lifelong learning. So, as you mentioned, we have seminars. Most recently, we had a representative come in and speak with our residents about Medicare and the upcoming changes. And they will be coming again in October. We, during that conversation, he actually talked a lot about safety and not accepting phone calls from companies claiming that they're going to help you with your Medicare services. So even myself, we learned a lot about that. We've had financial seminars, wellness planning, health and wellness. We've had a chiropractor come in. We've done some vision and hearing tests and discussing how to, take care of your mind and body. We've had a progressive fitness seminars as well, just about healthy eating and lifestyles. On to you.
And all of that sounds so wonderful, and that's great to have for your residents to have that opportunity to have access to so many different things. And at Provident Crossing, what we love to do is bring people in as well. We've got the in-house physical therapy, so they teach you all about standing, lifting, staying hydrated, staying active on your feet and things like that, and also bringing people in, teaching you about this, some of the same things. I have some calendars over there it's just a full month of activities and learning tools for our residents.
It's so important. I mean, all of you come each month to these seminars because learning is important, right? And so education and being able to know that if you decide that the time is here and you want to move to a senior community, that your education and your learning is going to continue on. It doesn't end at that point. I mean, there's just so much life to live, and so it's great that communities really fulfill those needs. So I want to talk about dining, because I know this is a really important topic to a lot of people, and I'm ready to move to a community today so that I don't ever have to cook another meal or think about what I need to buy to make that meal. But I wanted to kind of go in order, starting with active adult, because I know you don't have a specific dining plan, but is there anything that you all do in terms of meals together or anything? And then we'll go through each group to talk about dining plans.
Absolutely. So since we are an active 55 plus adult community, we do not include meals as part of our housing. However, throughout multiple events during the month, we do have meals that are provided with certain events. So we will have an event night, karaoke, a game night, you name it, and then we will have food with the event. But as a whole, for the active adult lifestyle, we do not have a dining hall, so meals are provided by our residents.
Margo?
Okay. We do provide all your meals, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner in independent living, assisted living, and memory care. We have quite a few choices. We have an everyday menu with hamburgers and sandwiches, salads, soups, things like that. And then the entrees change every day for lunch, and then they change again for dinner. And then in our independent living, we also have a cafe. So if someone wants to have just a little casual zip in and grab something or eat right there in the cafe, we have paninis and specialty salads and pizzas and things like that. So it's the full dining experience.
At Provident Crossing, it's more like when I do a tour with families, they say, oh, this is like living on a cruise ship, because it's 24/7 unlimited food. I mean, you've got your full breakfast every morning with all of your bacon and eggs made to order. It's just a whole line of things. And then at lunch, and dinner, you've got your full salad bar with your 2 soups made from scratch. And then you have your entree for lunch. And then we have, of course, something different for dinner. And then we have a chef pantry that's open 24/7 with fresh made sandwiches and fresh fruit and yogurt and cereal and milk and ice cream, popcorn. It's 24/7, so it's a wonderful environment. If you missed a meal, you were out to a doctor's appointment and lunch was over, you can walk up to the bar and get a burger and fries or a pizza made however you want it. So there's always something for everybody.
So with that said, if you are someone who is looking at senior communities and the dining is a really important part to you, which for most people it is, when you start touring those communities, ask what their meal plans are. What are the options to me? As you go through, like, I want to know about what kind of classes we can take. I want to know about what food I can get. I want to know all the things that are really important to you, because again, we just said in Georgetown, you've got a lot of really great options, and we appreciate them being here from different communities, but we're talking at a level of senior communities in general, not specific to their groups. But as you can see, 3 different communities with 3 different types of plans. So, and then how do you pay for those meals? How does that work into your budget and your payments? So, those are really important topics to look into when you start doing that discovery of where you want to be. So we hear a lot about this term resort style amenities that are within communities. And I know, Cora, that's part of your name at Provident Crossings. So can you all kind of explain more about what that trend is in terms of what are resort style amenities?
Well, resort style is, like I said, like being on a cruise ship. When you go on a cruise ship, you can get up, you have breakfast, you pay one rate every month, and everything's included in that. All of your utilities and lights, water, cable, internet, Wi-Fi, all of your meals, all your transportation, emergency pendant, you've got your theater, you've got your gym, you've got a hair salon there with spa amenities included as well. You've got everything right there at your fingertips. So that's what resort style living is about. Once you come, you bring your own things, you pick your apartment, and you live the best life ever by not having to be nickeled and dimed for different little things. And also, we allow you to age in place, so you never have to move. Our community has been in Round Rock for about 12 years, so we have people that come and they've been there for 12 years. That's where they spend it to end of life. So that's resort style living.
And within North Star Georgetown, for the resort style living, we are active 55 community, so everybody does live an active lifestyle. We have your pool, your grand living room, we have a billiards room, a hot tub, I have my pickleball courts. We encourage a very active lifestyle, so we do have a full kitchen within our clubhouse as well. And with the same concept at both of these ladies' communities of we want you to come there and we are going to keep you busy all day long. You don't have to go anywhere just for meals.
And the same with us, it's that resort style. So we have exercise classes, chair yoga, sit and fit, things like that. We also have happy hour every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we bring in live music and entertainment. We have complimentary beer and wine. So it's just a relaxing setting to really get to know other friends there. And so you have the whole gamut of what these ladies are saying as well. So it's a great place.
Well, and you just brought up the great segue into the next question here about independent living with a sense of community. So you're at these senior living communities. What does that look like in terms of friends or what they're doing together?
I love it just because you notice lots of times people want to stay home, but then when they come into a community and all of a sudden they're meeting new people, they're getting out and becoming more involved, they're meeting each other for lunch or dinner, going on outings together. It's just so good for your mind and staying active and participating that way. So it just seems like it brings joy every day. So I feel like that's such a positive for all of us. We need each other just like in this meeting so that you can visit and talk and share life. So that's, I think that's a positive.
I think at our community, we are normally one of the communities that are first to transition from folks selling their home, relocating to be closer to family or friends. And that's a very scary time for everyone. And again, what we do is aim to help people feel as comfortable as possible when living at any of our communities. When you come in, we actually have a resident ambassador program. So we have a new welcoming committee and pair you up with several people that you can get to know, and they'll help get you introduced to the community and become a familiar face, whether you're interested in gaming or fitness. We encourage communication within the community as well. We celebrate, birthdays and holidays. And again, it's a place for you guys to live and enjoy and have carefree living. So you're no longer having to mow the yard or get a letter from HOA or,
Sprinkler system
hold it.
broke.
Yeah. And so it's really enjoyable. And I think one of the most rewarding things for us is when we see people come to these communities and then they get involved. That introverted, very quiet, shy person now becomes extroverted. And again, it's about sharing joy and meeting new people.
Exactly, I agree. It's nice when you get people together. So what we've been doing on our calendar of events is having Meet Your New Neighbor. So we'll have a happy hour and everybody comes together in our lounge and meet the new neighbor, greet themselves. They get to, anything you want to do. There's just so much. We can't go through all of that today, but there's so much on the calendar to keep everyone active and get to know each other, because like you were saying, a lot of times people have lost a spouse, though they've been living at home alone, children are not around. So when they decide to move to an independent living community, they don't know anyone. So that's one of their biggest fears is, how am I going to meet all these people? How many people do you have in this community? So that's when we do Meet Your New Neighbor, and then they become a part. They don't know how to play Mahjong. They've never played bridge before. So we have people there teaching you all of those types of things, and, doing your Zumba class. That's a part of, being active and getting to meet everybody. So coming together is very important. And also, like you were saying, for holiday meals, we have it where family members are welcome. We have a guest suite in our community where if you have family from another state, they can come and stay and join the parties as well. So it is about meeting people and staying active and keep your brains moving, instead of, most people get up in the mornings and they're used to doing 5 or 6 things every day. They got their schedule, but that's not going to keep your brain active and going. So it's good to be around others.
And so I know you all have very active calendars on property. What about leaving the community to go out? What kinds of activities are your residents doing?
So at the Active 55 community level, most of the communities do not provide transportation. However, we have, through our network, and we were talking about technology and ways for residents to sign up for events, we have transportation services that will come to our community, as well as residents that are still driving, and they'll get groups together. We have a resident interest and destination list, so residents can sign up. I have some residents right now wanting to go to the museum in Austin, so we're working on getting a group together to go down to Austin as well.
Same. We have lots of different outings, everything from going to a restaurant to Marble Falls to a winery, out to lunch or dinner. So it ranges all the time, from shopping, just even at Wolf Ranch, to going into Austin. Most people seem to want to stay in this area, which is fine. We go to the Palace Theater and the movie theater and things like that. So it changes every single week. So it's fun because you'll always find something that you enjoy. Yeah.
Well, our activities director, Holly, she's really great with that. We have a log where you can go in there, and if you wanted to go to Lakeland Mall or to the Outlet Mall or to Costco or the grocery store or doctor's appointments or anything, all of that is available to you. We have our driver, Pete, that gets our residents there and back safe. Also, they go out to like you were saying, out to the wineries, and one of the favorite places is Fredericksburg. They go out to Waco, to Bluebell Ice Cream, Dell Diamond Games, so they're everywhere. Anywhere they want to go, they put it on that calendar and we go. Our managers, it is. Our resident managers, Joy and Jay, they actually are not from Texas, so every month they may just find somewhere to go. It's not even on the calendar. They'll just say, who wants to go? And the buses, they get on the bus and go. So you can, it's a very active community where you can actually enjoy yourselves.
So is this feeling like your parents' and grandparents' senior communities? It's not feeling that way to me. But we do know that there will eventually be health concerns and needs. And so how are those needs addressed in your different types of communities? Margot, do you want to start with that one?
Sure. We have started quite a bit, actually, in independent living and assisted living and memory care. We have a company called Curana that comes in now. They're nurse practitioners. They come 4 days a week, and they even have a clinic set up once a week. So if someone needs to be seen, they can go right into the clinic on the first floor. We bring in podiatry, we bring in x-ray machines, we bring in a dentist. We bring in counseling services if someone is, struggling with a loss. So an ear doctor, an eye doctor. So it's really making it so much easier. You can keep your doctor that you have, and we provide transportation for that. But we've also brought in a lot more just to make it easier for residents if they don't want to go out. So
That's
yeah, it's
fantastic.
been working really well.
Yeah.
At my community specifically, since we are active 55, we do not have the option for health care within our community. However, we do try to bring healthcare team members in at our various seminars where we've done vision testing, hearing testing, and again, then also assist with transportation if needed and the residents are unable to transport themselves, getting to clinicians and doctors throughout the area.
We actually work with a company called Halcyon Home Care. They're in our community every Tuesday doing blood pressure checks. They do all of our vaccines and things like that. You do have your option of choice. You can choose any home care company you want to come in to do something as small as changing the sheets on your bed all the way through end of life. It's totally up to the resident and the family on what they want to, who they want to choose. But Halcyon is in-house, and we also have our physical therapy and occupational therapy and speech therapy that's in-house. That we have a full gym. So most people come in and say, well, how are we going to learn how to use all this equipment? And that's what physical PT is for. So they're on site helping you to manage your lives through physical therapy.
Very good.
I wanted to say something with that too. I feel like the trend, exactly what you're saying, it allows people to live in independent living a lot longer when you have those things. The physical therapy, occupational therapy gets you stronger and allows you to stay in place. So that's kind of what the goal is, I think. So yeah, I think that's good news for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's actually a hard transition. Once you move to a place, you sold your home, you've given away everything that you didn't want to give away already, and then you go somewhere and you stay there for 5 to 10 years, and then you think you have to move again. It's very hard to do that because most people it makes things worse. So that's why we have an option where you can age in place. You never have to leave. Because of health reasons. Most independent living communities will ask you to leave, but we don't.
So in terms of the trends in demographics, what have you seen in the last 10 or so years in terms of your age, people coming in? And maybe we should start with Jennifer on this one and go through starting at the 55 plus. Is it really like the 55, they're walking right in the door, or what is that looking like?
Yeah, so we are active 55 plus community, so our minimum age requirement is 55. However, over the last, and we're a new community and have only been open 2.5 years, but the trend we're seeing is our average age range for our community is actually 68. So a lot of our residents, as I mentioned earlier, have lived in retirement communities and homes and have sold their homes or relocated to the community where you have maintenance-free living and get to have a great time. So the age range has actually kind of pushed up, which is great for everybody because that means all of you are staying active. So and having the various communities with the different levels of care is actually fantastic because all of us get to be a part of that experience, and it's really exciting for us as well when you guys are coming and relocating and moving from your home to get to know you and help you live the best life you can.
And Margot?
I feel the same. The trend has changed. I've been in the industry for about 17 years, and it feels like people are waiting a little bit longer. So at our community, you have to be 62 to move in. I feel like people, it's closer to 70 to 85, somewhere in there. So people are staying very active, but enjoy coming in and getting to know people. So it has changed a little bit. It's shifted.
And I agree with that as well. Our community is 55 and older, but I only have 2 people in their 50s. So, you're going to get in your 70s, but our age group is actually 80. But I have some 95-year-olds there that's been there maybe 5 years that are very active. I mean, they're moving themselves in. I'm like, what? Give me your secret.
Tell me your secret, please.
They're just doing so well. But yeah, that age group is around 80. But, I have some people in there. I have one lady that's 60. So I have another lady that's 65. So, just a few, but mostly people are in their 80s. I have a gentleman that's 101. He's still coming down for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, though. So, it varies now.
What do people, when they move in, what are their ideas of why they decided to make the move to a senior community?
I think one, for younger women, they like the safety. We have a locked community, so they don't want to have to handle all those things that happen in our homes with the sprinkler system breaking and things like that. It's the carefree lifestyle, safety, and lots of people are tired of cooking. They're ready to have that taken care of, so that's a big thing too with the activities. Sometimes we all think it's wonderful to stay home, which it is, but sometimes you get kind of lonely, and so it's nice to be around people. So I feel like there's quite a few different reasons people come.
In our community specifically, because we are active 55, so start at a little bit younger age bracket. Again, relocation closer to family, you're moving closer to your son or your daughter. Also kids moving closer to their parents. So their parents might be somewhere, near Georgetown, Round Rock, Austin, and they are looking for, again, maintenance-free living. You don't have to mow, you don't have to keep up with the lawn. If something's wrong in your home, and it is the same at all 3 of our communities, you are able to contact the office, make a call, and have maintenance come to your home and take care of it for you. And I think that's a big attraction, as we age, to not have the responsibility and upkeep of that, and it helps you enjoy more of a stress-free lifestyle because you come home, if something's wrong, you can call somebody, and it allows you to have fun and enjoy life.
Exactly. Independent living is just what it is. It's independent. You don't have to worry about taking out the trash or getting on a ladder, changing a light bulb. Any type of paying people to come in and do housekeeping, because you're paying for all those services or you're risking doing them yourselves, which is not safe. So that's when I have a lot of people come in and I ask them, what's happened? What are you looking for? And that's what it is. A maintenance-free. They don't want to think about cooking, even though all of our apartments come with a full kitchen. No one's going to use it. They're so sparkling clean. No one's using that.
When it's provided.
No, all of you've got the housekeeper coming in. You don't have to worry about that. Maintenance, you don't worry about any of that. Transportation, if you don't want to drive to the doctor, we'll take you that day. So, it's just, and the security of it, like you were saying, Margot, our concierge is there 24/7. So the night concierge is more like security, and the managers live there. So you've always got someone there in the building. I think, Mr. Cope, you've had that experience at Provident Crossing. It's a great place to be if you want to be independent.
So you guys have all been in this industry for a while, so I would love to just get your insight. You know, we've kind of gone through some specific trends and topics, but is there anything that you have seen or things that you would like to highlight about senior communities or changes that you've seen or?
I think in terms of changes, the active 55 adult and senior communities 20 years ago, and you were mentioning kind of like what your parents or your grandparents may have lived in, we have all adapted and they are much more active, open, bright, and you didn't have the variety. Again, you went from your home into a much higher level of care, or a skilled nursing home. Here you get to progressively build up the stages, still maintenance-free living, but some of the communities even have progressive, where age in place. Once you're in, and they have the health care and the meals and everything, you know, that you need. And I think that's what's changed is 20 years ago, we didn't have all these resources and opportunities for the different living styles. And we do today, which is exciting for us and for you guys.
I wanted to say that too. I feel like I hear that over and over, but not just our three. There are people that have homes now with 4 people living there, these small homes. There are so many choices now that it is completely different than it was 20 years ago. And so it gives so many options. To me, that's exciting. So I love when people come in, especially when they're much older, and their whole picture is white walls, wheelchairs lined against the hallway, and it is 100% different than that. That doesn't even exist anymore. I'm sure there may be a few places, but honestly, it's completely different. It's like you were saying, it's resort style. So
It's cruise ship.
Yes. And you know, and it's really great because most people, that's what they're used to. They're used to going in a place, and I've worked in them because I've been in this field since, I want to say 30 years, because I come from a nursing background, so I understand what their vision is. And it is, once I tell them and the family, they're like, now I got to convince mom and dad of this, because they're not coming, you know, they don't want anything to do with this. But then once they come, you know, they're glad that they did. They're glad that they made the choice. You know, they have a more active lifestyle. You know, when I first started working in independent living, you didn't have doctors actually come into the community. Now the doctors, the dentist, everything can come to you, even though you want to be active. If you can get out and you still drive, do it. Enjoy your life any way you want. Another thing that a lot of people say, hey, I want to travel before I come to a place like this. And resort lifestyle communities, you can do that. We have 60 other communities that you can actually travel to for free and stay for 1 solid week. So you can still travel.
That's neat.
So, you know, that's one of our big things that I've had people, they come and they put their bag down and start making reservations, because it'll take you years. It'll take you years to see all the communities.
That's
so
fabulous.
neat.
Yeah, that's a really, this is.
I love that.
That is very cool.
Yeah. I love it.
That's really great. How would you recommend that people, because there are so many options, how do you recommend that people navigate sorting through the different types of communities and touring, and what does that look like?
Well, I'll tell you, and I tell people this all the time, because they'll register with a Place for Mom or caring.com, and they'll flood them with, their phone will just start ringing off the hook.
Yeah.
So most times when I get that referral, I do not call that family, because I know that it's 100 other people trying to call them.
Yeah.
So I don't do that. But I would not visit 10 places. It's just very confusing as it is.
Yeah.
So the thing is to learn about independent living, what the differences are, and that's what we're trying to get across today. And then pick 3 or 4 places. Visit those places, have your list, have lots of questions, try a meal, talk to people in the elevators and in the hallways and other residents, because when you sit in that dining room and have that meal, you're going to get a good concept of how that community is based on the residents that live there right now.
And I think also, if you're a list maker like I am, think of things as you look around, and I agree, narrow them down. There's no need to go look at 10 different places. And once you understand the very varying levels of lifestyle that you can live, if Active 55, if we spoke with you on the phone and you said, hey, I need a full meal plan, we're going to tell you the types of meals we offer around our various events, but then we would help direct you to another community where that is provided. But write down, when you're touring, take notes. It's okay to take notes. This is going to be your home, the place where you live. Don't ever let anybody make you feel rushed. Our visits take an hour, 2 hours, and it's okay to come back. I want everyone to know it's okay to come back. It's a big decision to sell your home or relocate or move, and we're here to help with that transition. So ask questions, write down pros and cons as you visit the community, or likes or dislikes, so that you can build the list and help make the best decision. And most importantly, too, call a family member, call a friend. We're at the age where sometimes people don't have that direct family member that they can reach out to. Phone your best friend and say, hey, I'm thinking about this and I'm just really on the line and I'm torn. And then also amongst our own communities and the staff, we're here to help and tell you, we can't steer you or guide you, but if you say, well, I'm really wanting this, we can also provide ideas of other communities in the area that provide different services.
I agree. When you go tour, every single community is different and has a different feel. And I always encourage people to go to 3 places and talk to residents and talk to the staff. If they're happy, you'll probably be happy. You can tell a lot within 30 minutes of just looking around and seeing if people are smiling, are they active, are they relaxed, that kind of thing. So I do encourage that as well.
In your handout, one of the handouts, this one here, there is an actual for your consideration that's got some ideas on there, things like what are your lifestyle goals and what do I do now, what do I want to continue to do. So looking at something like this is a really good option. And then I will also, after every seminar, I send out a follow-up email. And this is a document that we had from last year, but I will go ahead and attach it to your email this time. And it's questions to ask. So one is specific to independent communities, for 55 plus communities, and it's going to walk you through some of those ideas. Now, we wouldn't recommend with our letterhead for you to walk in with 5,000 questions and say, but Brielle and Virginia said to ask all of these questions. They might not like us that much, but pick out the things that are really important to you when you're evaluating where you want to live. And then I'll give a little bit of a plug here too. Last November, we did our seniors Downsizing Smarter group did community tours. And one of the great hallmarks of those tours was that we asked for the communities to have their residents be the tour guides. So it wasn't like this marketing sales pitch kind of a tour. You were talking to people who are residents living there, and we will be doing those again in 2024, January, February. We're working with communities to get dates and stuff for that. But we would definitely encourage you, if you are at that stage and you're starting to consider wanting to look at different communities, the discovery tours are fantastic. We do meet with the people that work there, but really, like I said, the highlight is having the residents give those tours. So that's really fantastic. And all 3 of these properties will be on our 2024 tour. So we're excited about that. I'm going to go ahead and open it up, unless, do you guys have anything else before we open it up to some Q&A? All right, I'm going to step down here, so if you have questions. All right, we'll start over here and I'll work my way.
You've covered a lot of information about transitioning from the home into your facilities. What I would be interested in, as a person who lives there for maybe 3, 4, 5 years, how do you transition that person as their health deteriorates? Do they have to move to a different part of your establishment, or do they stay in the same apartment, or how do you help them?
That's a great question to start.
for the Delaney, we do have independent living, assisted living, and memory care. In our independent living, we do have physical therapy, occupational therapy. We have nursing. It's a company that's on the first floor. And so a lot of those needs can be met in independent living. If someone gets to the point where they truly need assisted living in a smaller environment, we have a nurse in our assisted living 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So assisted living tends to be harder to get into. When you live at the Delaney, you're automatically at the top of the list. So we would help you actually transfer to assisted living to get the needs that you may have at that point. But a lot of times you don't necessarily have to. We definitely have people stay in independent living through end of life. There are so many things that we can do now to bring in hospice if you need that, to bring in med management if you need that, if shower assistance, things like that. So that might seem a little confusing. There are just so many choices now. Did that answer your question, or did it make it more confusing? Most of the medical needs are covered by Medicare, but if you needed things like shower assistance, that would be private pay. Lots of times when someone needs assisted living, they might have a much harder time getting to meals or getting to activities. So our assisted living is much smaller. So we want you to succeed and thrive in your setting. And so if that should happen and you need something smaller, we will help you transition over to assisted living.
So that would be a separate apartment?
It would be a separate apartment. We have 3 communities, all under one building, all under one roof, but definitely 3 separate communities. Thank you.
And with Active 55 Spectrum, if additional assistance is needed with health and wellness, there would be a point in which you would relocate and move to one of these other facilities that does provide the health care and wellness within their community.
What we do is, like I said, we have Halcyon Home Care we work closely with that are in the building. So if you decided you wanted to start some type of services, you can. Like she was saying, it is built through Medicare, but if you wanted someone to remind you of a medication or anything like that, of course, that can be additional, anywhere from $5 to $10 per reminder that day. So if you got one medication that you just can't remember to take, then you'll pay once a day for someone to come in and remind you of that. But as far as apartments, you stay where you are, you age in place where you are. If you can't get down for a meal, of course, our room service is included as well in the resort lifestyle. So if you wanted to have breakfast in your apartment every morning because you don't quite get up early, you can do that. They'll deliver your meals that morning. So you got options there, but you don't have to change apartments. You'll just age in place where you are.
So yeah, and so that's another one of those questions that when you're visiting communities, if it's important to you to stay or if it's okay to switch things around, like that's a great question to ask. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
One thing I didn't hear any of you address, and it would be a deal breaker for me, are you all pet friendly?
Yes, we are pet friendly.
Perfect question.
That is a perfect question. Great question.
We are pet friendly. Pets are located on the first floor, so you can have your walkout fenced in yard out back. So you can, it's a big patio, so they can be able to go out back. There's doggy bags and things along the trail outside when you're walking your pet, so you do have to pick your pet poop up. But we are pet friendly. There's no pet deposit or anything like that. Now, if you have a dog that's a service animal, then they're allowed on any floor. Cats are allowed on any floor. There's cats in the building. I've never seen them before, but there are. You know how cats are, but yeah. But most dogs are on the first floor, but we are pet friendly.
We are also very pet friendly. We allow cats and dogs, and our first floor homes all have fenced yards. And then for our sweet, precious puppies, we actually have 2 dog parks. We have a smaller one on the back side of the community, and then a larger one at the main part of the community by our pickleball courts that's covered, so you can sit outside while your furry friend plays. And in fact, we love our pets so much, we have yappy hours. So it's a happy hour with our furry friends, so you can come out and enjoy some snacks and beverages and bring your furry friend. And we even get sponsors out there that provide different health and wellness supplies for our dogs. So yes, we are
I want to go to that.
pet friendly. Come on, you can come to my yappy hours.
I love that. We do too. We have cats and dogs in the community anywhere you would like. I just have to share, you guys, someone has a plaque on their front door, and it says, let the cat out, and then in parentheses, no matter what he says. Thought that was cute.
That's cute.
So, yeah, it's so fun to have animals. That would be a deal breaker for me, too.
Yeah.
Yes, we are located in the Village neighborhood, so we're on 15 acres. So we have walking trails all around the campus and places to take the dog outside, lots of courtyard areas. Same thing, just little doggy bags.
Yeah, we have a dog park as well for people to walk out, and it's fenced in for the dogs. And we actually are creating a new one because of the big building they're building next door to us. So we're going to make something attractive on that side of the building by doing an additional dog park.
This will work our way.
Yes, on this one flyer that was handed out, it talks about active adult 55 apartments and condos. Is there, I gather that none of you have apartments or condos, it's all a community building?
Ours is a community building, yes, sir.
Is there any apartment and condo adult living in Georgetown?
There are some, yes. I know the Wesleyan has some condos, I guess is what they would call them, on the
Cottages.
cottages. They call them cottages. Yes.
The Wesleyan, okay, thank you.
I think my question is specific to Cora about the progressive nature of your place. I'm assuming that most places charge a higher rate for assisted living than for independent living. So how do you work that if you allow people to age in place? Are you paying if one of the 2 people, let's say it's a couple, needs some assistance and is more at the assistance level, how do you up the rate so that, okay, how do you work that?
We don't. It's independent living, so you work that however you want with your home care. I have lots of recommendations, but we don't charge you anything additional whatsoever because you need more help or you need room service. It's all inclusive, one rate, so that doesn't change because of your health. The only thing that would change for you is that the home care company that you choose, they will bill your insurance. Like physical therapy and occupational therapy, that's billed through your insurance. You would never have to worry about paying anything for that. But like medication reminders, an assistance with the shower, those would be additional through the home care company, not through us. Did that answer your question? Those extra additional needs that you would need. We have lots of recommendations, but we use Halcyon Home Care there on site, but we don't force you to use them. You might know another company that a friend's using that you want to use, you're welcome to do that. Well, at Provident Crossing, you mean?
Yeah, I couldn't either.
worked in a independent living retirement community for a short time, trying to get ourselves back to Texas. We were over in Tennessee, and then we moved as a part of that to Hot Springs. And then we wanted to get on home, so we're home now. But my wife has Alzheimer's, and I'm still fortunately together. And since she's been in for a couple of years, I've been over there 7 days a week, every day from the beginning. And it can be pretty stressing as far as financially.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. It is expensive. Memory care is expensive. Some people have their loved one in memory care and they stay home. Some people have someone in memory care and they live in independent living and walk over to them. I'm not an expert on Medicaid, but I know that there are ways so that if you're helping take care of her, there are ways to protect your assets. I just am not the person to talk to you, but there are people that could help with that. If, let's say, let's just say you had $2 million, I'm just guessing, and it comes down, there is a way for you to protect yourself so that she can be cared for and you can still have your assets, so you have a home to live in and money to take care of yourself. Also, I encourage people, if anyone served in the military, a lot of times there are benefits for your spouse and for yourself, but lots of us didn't serve in the military. And so I don't have a magic answer. I wish I did. That's a question I get all the time. And I feel like as a society, this is my personal opinion, we don't have the answer yet. There are a lot of us that are middle class and it matters. So I wish I had a better answer for you, and I don't.
The only other thing that I can think of for you, sir, like in my community, I'll have a couple, and one would have need memory care, and one is just fine. So that person is the caregiver, even in the independent living environment, and then they bring someone in when he or she wants to go out or going to be gone for it. They'll hire somebody to come in as needed to watch that person, like a caregiver. So that'll save you a lot because both of you are under the same roof living, but you have someone come in and help you out. So you don't have to, one is paying $4,000 here and one's paying $7,000 over here. So that's what can happen when you want to try to live under the same roof. And you don't want to be in memory care. Your wife is in memory care, you said? Your wife is in memory care? Yeah. So you don't need memory care. So for you all to live in a community separately could cost you a fortune. So it's best to live together if that's what you want, if it's manageable with assistance.
At Providence, do you have a full gym, or what kind of equipment do you have in your gym? And how large is it? Does it accommodate quite a few different kinds of equipments?
Yes, ma'am. Our gym may be half of this from that wall here over. It's a nice sized gym. So there's lots of equipment in there, and we've got balls, and we've got bands and weights and several treadmills, and we've got a bicycle, more elliptical type machine, and then we've got weights and everything. So PT office is actually located in the gym, so they'll go through and teach you all of those things as well.
Great. Do you have trainers there to help with the equipment?
Yes, the physical therapist is on site.
Those are great questions. We have any more? Oh, I know you've been waiting, and I'll come back to you here. Here we go.
I just wondered, what is the yearly percent of increase on the fees in general? I know they go up every year. What's the percentage?
So at our Active 55 community, the typical lease term is around 18 months. 15 to 18 months our residents sign. At that time, prior to the expiration of the lease, they're going to receive a renewal offer letter. And that's going to vary. There's so many factors based on the market, but usually around 5 to 7% is what the industry is currently seeing for the active adult spectrum.
Yes, and we are month to month, so there's no long-term contract at Provident Crossing at all. It's a month to month. So if you moved in and put a 30-day notice in, you put a 30-day notice in and you leave. But our increases don't happen every year. We have some years where it skipped, like in 2019 and 2021, there was not an increase at all. But for this year here, it went up by 7%. So it can go anywhere from 1 to 7.
I was going to say too, it's almost the same. We ask for a 60-day notice in independent living and a 30-day notice in assisted living and memory care. It could go up anywhere from 3 to 9%. Somewhere for many, many years it was 3%. Recently it was more, but hopefully as the economy settles down, if it will go back down. It's just all dependent on the economy.
Mm-hmm. I have long-term care insurance. Can that be used in a facility?
In assisted living, but not in independent living. Your long-term care can be used for all of your care needs. You don't have to pay anything for that additional medication reminders or any of that. Long-term care will take care of all of that in independent living, but it will not take care of your rent.
But it pays in full for assisted living and memory care. Just not the rent for independent living. So that type of policy it will cover the care needs. Typically, not all do that even. So it just really depends on your policy. But then once you are in assisted living, it does pay for everything. Mm-hmm.
Virginia would not be pleased with me if I didn't make this comment. And those of you who've been attending know. We really want to refer to communities as communities because we really have gone away from the idea of a facility. A lot of that gives the idea of that skilled nursing again or the white walls again or something like that. And we really want you all these are communities. You are building communities, you are active, you are cared for, you are fed and loved and wonderful things are happening. These are communities. So Virginia's going to watch this back, and if I didn't say anything, so. Do we have any other questions today? Oh, we've got a couple more, and then we're going to take these last two, and then we'll wrap it up.
For those of us interested in independent, over 55 apartment living, what is why would that be of interest to me as opposed to a regular apartment? Can you tell me the difference? As far as over 55?
So for between conventional, which is what a conventional community does not have any age restrictions, versus the active 55, you're starting out with the minimum age requirement of being 55. So the benefit there would be that you are more likely to get to know people, and your neighbor is going to be closer to your age range than your neighbor potentially, they could be 18 or 19. So I think, the benefit of having these active adult communities, and again, this is a newer concept, really helps restrict the age in which people can come join the community. And so you're going to find more common grounds, activities, enjoyments of life and things you do with someone closer to your age.
I agree with you.
You don't have to go to the swimming pool at North Star and a bunch of kids are jumping in the water.
However, what I will add with Active 55 is we actually have family swim days. So if you want to bring the family and you want to bring the grandbabies, you can. And then that way we do have dedicated time where anybody that goes to that pool knows they're going to be splashed. And we were talking earlier about family and welcoming family and guest suites. We have a guest suite as well. And all of us in all three communities and levels of communities are going to encourage you to have family and have friends over. And again, just enjoy your time.
So I wanted to ask, what are some of the questions that you'd recommend asking during a tour, for each of you, for your types of facilities?
Well, yeah, so, you can have 100 questions, but longevity in the community is very important. The turnover, how long has your chef been there, your dining director, your housekeepers, things like that is very important to know up front, is, all those questions like that, and what your needs are, what you want to see. Can someone meet your personal needs is very important. So, yeah, that's very important, is all your personal needs. It's going to be very important.
And I think being prepared, so prior to visiting the communities and making your list, writing that down on your must-haves, and you can do without. So, even in our Active 55 community, for example, the homes do not have grab bars installed. But guess what? If you need a grab bar in the bathroom, we can do that for you. So we can also adapt to certain situations and circumstances as people are needing that as well. But definitely just knowing in advance what you're looking for will help the tour go more smoothly. And don't ever be afraid to ask too many questions. That's what we're here for. We want you to make the right choice.
That's what I was going to say. Don't worry. I like when people ask questions. I know that they're getting everything that they need. So I encourage it. Another thing I would ask is maybe who is backing the company. Sometimes people think it's just a fun idea to open a community, and I would always ask what is the mission and who is backing that, so that they don't sell in a year and then you start all over.
How many options do you have as far as square footage of the rooms?
So for our community specifically, they start out at 628 square feet all the way up to 1,462 square feet. So we have 1 and 2 bedroom homes, and we even have a 2-bedroom with a study.
We have studios, 1 bedrooms, and 5 different 2-bedroom options. Our largest is over 1,500 square feet. It's like a house.
And we start out with studios up to 3 bedrooms. Our studios are 588 square feet, which sounds small, but it's a really large living space. Large closet, full kitchen in all the apartments, and a laundry space in all the units. Our largest unit is 1,300 square feet.
Choices.
And again, those are great. All of these have been really great questions, and things that you can ask at all different types of communities. I would also recommend maybe visiting their websites. A lot of them have their floor plans on their websites. You can do a lot of research before you even narrow it down to where you want to go to visit for in-person tours. So I definitely would recommend, and if you go to the Seniors Living Smarter website, under the senior living drop down, we have a lot of communities in the Georgetown area, Round Rock area that are listed on there. So it's kind of easy, one stop, can go in there and just click all the links and visit all the places online. So we encourage you to do that. And that's actually one of your action steps. So if you are in your handouts here, we always have action steps. And that first one is exploring that senior the Exploring Senior Living handout that was in your packet, and then coming up with your list of priorities, your needs. What are you looking for in a community? And then visit those websites, and then start making some plans to make tours and to set up appointments. And again, we will be doing our discovery tours as a group in 2024, January, February, so be on the lookout for information on that. And we'll have sign-ups. We take groups of 10, 12 people at a time
to a community. We'll break you up into groups and again have the resident tour guides and meet with the property management there. And so those are a really great way to explore communities. Virginia offers a senior downsizing club. If you are a club member, raise your hand. We've got a few in the house today. If you are really considering downsizing, and this is something you may be a year out, 6 months out, 5 years out, but you know that it's coming and it feels a little overwhelming, this is more of a support group for us. And we meet once a month, and because before you can get to this, what are you going to do with all the stuff in your house?
To downsize.
Yeah. And so we do offer that support group. My number is on here, so if you are interested in attending as a guest in one of the upcoming months, give me a call and we'll get you on the schedule there to join us. Next month, our panelist is actually going to be Josie, and many of you have met her. And our topic is caring for a loved one with memory loss. And I don't want you to leave here today thinking, my spouse is fine, I'm fine, everybody in my household is fine. Your loved one could be your neighbor, your friend at church, your best friend's husband, whatever. Josie really we've already been talking through what this is going to look like, and I'm very excited to have her next month. Really, there's so much hope in dealing with memory loss and how we as a community can support our friends and neighbors and loved ones. And so we hope that you will join us next month. You can register online on our website. The registration will open up next week. But if you want, I can take care of the registration for you. So also in your binder, you will see this feedback form. And on the back of it, you will have a place to check if you are interested in Downsizing Club, if you would like for me to take care of your registration for next month's seminar. Drop it into the baskets, and there'll be a couple of baskets. Ella in the red dress will have those out, and you can just drop those in there. Please make sure your name is on it, because sometimes I get these forms and they say, please register me for next month, and there's no name, so I don't know what to do. So if you can make sure that your name is on there and drop those in the box. And I just want to, do you have one more thing? Oh, yes.
I just wanted to let you know next week we are having one of the medical directors giving a talk at the Delaney. It's at 3 o'clock. It's Aging in Place. It will be phenomenal. He represents Curana across the country. So if you're available, I will put some flyers out there. I just thought you all might like
And will
that.
you have them at your table? Okay, perfect. So,
just come by every day. It's a Tuesday. Tuesday at 3, but I have a flyer. I'll hand it to you. Thank you.
So we want to thank our panelists again. This has been fantastic. And we're going to open it up. If you'll visit our educational partners, they all have wonderful information to share with you, and we look forward to seeing you all next month.